Simon, thank you for your time. And this, of course, very much in the fore with President Biden visiting Kyiv today and announcing, I think, about $500,000 in more ammunition, Javelin missiles, howitzers and so on. What could the Chinese be supplying for the Russians on the other side?
I think what the Chinese are particularly up by, I think it's $500 million, not $500,000, but never mind. $500 million.
Oh, I do. Yes, yeah.
President Biden.
Yeah, I do apologise for that slip. Yeah,
that's right. I mean, what the Russians will be after are some of the precision missiles, which they got through very quickly at the beginning of the campaign last year. And I don't know enough detail about whether those weapon systems are easily compatible with Russian weapon systems or whether they're new systems they can use. But they did get through an awful lot of their more modern weapon systems, which is why in the latter stages of last year, we saw increasing use of what you might call rather old-fashioned shells, rockets and missiles, which were a lot less precise and a lot more accepting, if you like, of collateral damage from there. So I think that's the key thing. It gives them a reserve, which they haven't currently got.
OK, and would the worry be that China provides some high-tech, long-range armaments, which, of course, would be a worry in that we don't seem to be providing Ukraine with air cover in terms of these modern jets they want?
Yeah, I mean, and it's trying to get the right balance between them. But yes, it is precisely that the technology advantage will then swing across back to the Russians from where they are. And as you rightly point out, we've not only been slow about providing things like the tanks, even though we've now promised those, we have so far denied the Ukrainians a modern air force to try and, if not, you can't counter missiles with aircraft, but you can, if you like, balance up the overall advantage with a different technology advantage. So yes, the balance will go against the Ukraine if the Russians are able to secure Chinese high-tech supplies.
And what would it do for the bigger balance, bearing in mind the situation with Taiwan, if China did actively become involved? And already people have talked about this new Cold War between East and West.
I mean, I think that's it. I mean, there was a lot of speculation at the beginning of the campaign last year that China was, if you like, viewing what was happening in Ukraine as a bit of a dress rehearsal for what it might choose to do against Taiwan. And I think everyone's worried that they use the opportunity of the West perhaps being diverted elsewhere or other perceptions of Western weakness to attack Taiwan. And that would be a disastrous outcome.
Yeah.
The broader issue about is there a new Cold War is also on the cards. And it will take a lot of very deft diplomacy to try and persuade the Chinese it's really not in their interest to follow Putin into a what could be just a gross misadventure with really dangerous consequences for the world.
And, yeah, final thought. I mean, could Beijing actually be reconsidering, given what appears to be the failure of Soviet-era weaponry against advanced Western and US and UK kit?
No, I think they're doing that the whole time, but they've also got some advantages. We've seen them at the high-tech end. I mean, they're the first to actively deploy these so-called hypersonic missiles, which I think took everybody by surprise. And they are avid students of Western technology, Western ideas, and seeing how they can adopt them and adapt them for their own uses. So, I mean, it is, even if it's not an open arms race, there is definitely a sort of intelligence, commercial intelligence, information gathering arms race ongoing now, where they try and understand what